Clarice is called back into the field when two bodies show up only several feet apart with similar wounds that appear to be the work of an unknown serial killer on the loose. Hello, everybody. I'm Steve from VALHARTV, and today I'll be reviewing Clarice Episode 1. So we start out in 1993. This takes place a year after Buffalo Bill was caught. So this is basically a direct sequel to Silence of the Lamb. It takes place a year after. Clarice is in a therapy session, and her therapist doesn't really think that she's ready to go back to work, even though she's been in the basement of the science division. And he feels that she needs to really take some time off to deal with her PTSD. She still has nightmares about the Buffalo Bill case and what it really meant to her. She's not really, ready. She doesn't even want to talk to the survivor that she saved in the movie. So it really kind of shows, in the beginning, like she's really defensive and she deflects everything. But she is thrust back into the front lines as part of the VICAP, as Ruth Martin, I believe is her last name, has requested her personally to head this new task force to find serial killers and stop violent crimes. And she gets her first case, and she goes out to investigate the two bodies that bear all the hallmarks of a serial killer. And when she gets there, of course, Agent Krenler isn't really, into her that much. He's like, you're going to do what I tell you, and what I say, you're going to tell the press and things like that. So she's kind of like, oh, wait, I'm not, and she keeps, hemming and hawing about it. So you can really see that she's not ready for the field. But she starts to examine the bodies, and she notices some strange things about the bodies. And she starts to tell what, her feelings are. But, again, everybody's like, no, this is a serial killer. End of story. That's what you're going to say. So she goes in front of the cameras, of course, and that's where, it's like she starts having flashbacks, of course, and she just kind of stammers out some answers, and then they walk away. So Agent Thomas is really, he's an agent who's assigned to kind of like get a read on her, but he quickly becomes tries to befriend her. Basically, he becomes friends, and he trusts her because he's like, I kind of thought the same thing, but you can kind of, you can see what other people can't. So let's see what we can figure out. So as they're going back through the case notes and the evidence, they interview witnesses and quickly find out some similarities in the actual, how everybody's tied together, and they go in and continue to investigate that part. So the show ends with her talking to the press, which doesn't impress Agent Krenler. And I don't know how her boss, basically, Ruth Martin, is going to take that either, because that's right where the show ends. So there were no real effects. It was all practical. They went through, did the interviews with people. So I mean, there wasn't really a lot to talk about there. There were some kind of coincidence type things where Agent Thomas noticed a vehicle that didn't have license plates on it, and he was like, oh, this is my experience, when you don't have plates. And it's like, oh, okay, what? So it goes through. The acting was okay. It's rough around the edges in some spots, but overall it wasn't really the worst acting I've seen. This is, of course, again, a direct sequel to The Silence of the Lambs, and it's all about Clarice now herself. This is her story and what she's going to be experiencing going on. this episode was okay at the most. So it really is hopefully going to get better. But yeah, this episode was just okay. It really, it didn't really remind me of Silence of the Lambs that much, other than the fact that they kept mentioning Buffalo Bill and they kept showing moths, So I was really kind of disappointed. I thought this might be a little bit better, especially for, how good the movie was. But yeah, I would give this at least a 5.5 out of 10. It just, I was like, okay, it's not like I felt like I wasted my time. I didn't feel like that, but yeah, if you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and also subscribe, as I'll be doing more content each week. Take care for now, everybody.